All right, hey everyone, this is Joshua Johnson, lead developer of Ultimate Disc Golf and CTO for Tree Industries. Gonna do live stream here for a little while, just playing and enjoying the new update. Um, if you joined us before, you might notice that I have a new camera and lighting setup, so get to see my pretty face here for a little while. Just trying to make sure we up our quality level on the stream. So hope you all enjoy that. Before I go any further, I just want to go ahead and I'm pretty sure almost everybody's heard the news at this point about Kobe Bryant and his daughter and the other family. So I'm a big sports fan. Grew up around athletics. Played a lot of different sports over the years. So our thoughts go out to all their families and. We're gonna go ahead and still try to have some fun here because we already had this stream scheduled. So hopefully, if that's kind of got you down, we can go through and play the game for a little while. I'm sure there might be some bugs we can try to get a little laugh up about. So if you notice here, I've got the game set up through through Steam. Sorry. So I would say January 31st is what we're looking at. We have the game build submitted to Steam at this point, and we're just waiting for them to do the final approval. Uh, so we'll do a big post and a big announcement about that, I'm sure. But just for you all to get a little preview, we're going to go ahead and test out loading it through Steam. All right. So I've got a Xbox controller that we're gonna go ahead and test out the game with. Use that to play today. Okay, in this new update, we've got the time of day that can be selected for the single player mode, and I do realize that it's military time at the moment. We're going to be working on, kind of making it have some type of interval, make it a little bit easier to select. And right now, one thing that happens that we've kind of already noticed, and I noticed this, is that essentially it saves that time of day to the user settings for the game. So once you set it once, if you don't go back and change it, it actually saves that time that you set. Um, so if you had one loaded up before, it might not look the same. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that that's kind of a little bit more clear. Maybe have an actual like default setting, so default time of day that you want to use, and then you can change it with this select one that you see on the screen. So it's a little bit in the afternoon. And I think we're going to do Breezy Pines. All right. Okay, go with the driver, and I think we're going to go with the backhand. That's interesting. Okay. Already got one to mark down. Just teleported into the landscape just a little bit. That's parked though, so something good came out of it. Throw still worked okay. So just a little tidbit for everyone. We've started on some of the face animations and blinking and some of the things to make the characters a little more lifelike when they're doing celebrations and idle animations and all that kind of stuff. Okay, it seems to be when I'm teleporting to the T, not to the disc. Go without full power on this one. It's a little bit high. And I forgot to change the spin putt. Off to a great start. Definitely full power on this one. Not great. All right. So I'm definitely excited to let everyone know that we've got the kind of disc bag inventory system, system that'll also control your outfits. Pretty much started as far as getting ready to put it in the live build. So we've been working on that underneath the hood for a while now. We've done some testing, but we've got it pretty close now where we'll go beyond just having the kind of simple driver putter mid-range. So it's actually going to be a lot more variation coming up very soon. Go backhand here. Okay, so we had on the change log that these should run away from me, and then he's definitely running. I know a couple of our players were enjoying the riding the critters around, so sorry to take that fun away. I think in the end we needed to do that for sure. Okay, come on. A little higher. Go almost full power on this one. Okay, thrown a 3 so far. 3 under. Where's that 2 under? 2. Not bad. Wouldn't mind getting an ace today. might be a little high. Maybe not. Okay, I think we're going to teleport to this one. There we go. Oh. So close. Go backhand again on this one. I've tried forehand a few times and I just can't really find a line that I like so far, so this seems to be pretty solid. Oh, so when you do that, this is going to be tough. Go backhand, mid-range. Ooh, not a bad save. Alright, let's check the score so far. Okay, that's definitely that little bug. Looks like I'm not seeing. Oh, so I got even on the last two. Started off good, could be going better. Alright, we're gonna save it here. We're gonna get back on track. Okay, full power. Gonna be just outside the circle. Alright, I think we can put this one away. Oh my goodness. Little off today. I keep forgetting to change to the spin putt. That's okay. I've been able to sneak it through these trees sometimes, but it's definitely a high risk, high reward type scenario. We're gonna try it though. Ooh, pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, make sure we're on spin putt. I hope everybody's had a great weekend so far. So went down to the NHL All-Star game, so it was right here in our hometown this year, St. Louis. So Didn't have tickets to the game, but they had all kinds of fun events. So, definitely in chat, let us know what you had going on this weekend. If, you had an ace on your favorite course, we definitely want to hear about that. Definitely want to hang out, have fun, so feel free to get involved and let us know how your weekend went. Hey there, Stop 3. Appreciate you joining us. Not sure if you've checked out the game before, but what I'm playing here is Ultimate Disc Golf. We've been working on it a couple of years, so howdy question mark. I appreciate you liking and subscribing, Stop 3. Definitely, we're big fans of disc golf here, so we're kind of playing the long game and really want to contribute to the sport. Hopefully, grow the sport. So I'm not sure if you're a disc golf fan specifically or a gaming fan, but we appreciate you following along with the progress. So the goal is to make it fun for everybody, whether you're a disc golfer or just your average gamer. We're gonna have lots of side missions, stuff like that. As soon as we kind of get all this core gameplay just nice and polished. Okay, we're gonna go. Spin putt might be tough here, but I'm gonna kind of see what our range is on it. It's a good one to test, I think. But I think we're gonna go with a driver. Ooh, a little soft. Not bad though. This game is kind of good. Yeah, I think that's what we would say. There's definitely things under the hood that we haven't released yet, and lots of bugs. Some of them are pretty funny. Stop 3, you're just you're gonna throw that one right out there for us, huh? So Stop 3 is asking what we think about the coronavirus. So, that's a loaded question there. I think that it's definitely one to keep an eye on. I definitely think that we need to watch and make sure that how quickly it's spreading. How that relates to travel and things like that. No, I'm not I'm more of a techie. I work on software. We do some robotics and machine learning stuff here at Tree, but I'm definitely not a communicable disease expert. So take my opinion with a grain of salt on that. I definitely think that your standard hygiene and some of the tips that they kind of already put out there are good to follow. So I would say start there. Hope for the best. Okay, not a bad round. So we'll go ahead and hop over to Sunny Birch. I'm going to test the pause menu on the game controller here. Looks like it's working. We need a little bit more hover effect for the game controller. Now with mouse, should be working. So we're going to click back to the main menu. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with the time of day before. So I had changed it before my last round, but when you reload this menu, it defaults to 12 o'clock. But when I play Sunny Birch, the time is going to be what I set it to on my last round. because that's where it saved the user settings. So we'll get that cleaned up fairly quickly here. Let's go a little bit earlier, like. Click the wrong button. Sorry, bear with me here. Okay, we want to go in the morning and Sunny Burst. That's better. Thanks for stopping by, Stop 3. Good luck. Okay, I like a little forehand on this one. I've seen a lot of players put this one in the creek, and I know that the turn and on the disc, you know, it definitely needs to kind of die out more, so we need some more dampening on that, but for now, I definitely like to keep it low and throw a driver forehand. So keep it low and really not a lot of power, maybe 2/3. It's not bad, still a little hard. But at least I'm not in the creek bed. Hopefully just drop this right in there. Okay, we got a little bit of the crazy chains on that one, so I'm not going to go into the technical details, but we should have that pretty much fixed in the next release. Doesn't happen on every throw, but we've got the solution that'll kind of make it kind of a finalized where that won't happen no matter how you throw it at it. Okay, so big backhand here. But not full power. You throw full power, you're probably going to go OB right past it. So we're going to go about 3/4, maybe a little bit more. I'd like to get a little more on that, but it might not be bad. So, welcome, Alex. We've got a question from Alex on YouTube. When can I play this on my Xbox One? So that's a great question, and we appreciate that. We've essentially released the alpha on PC for right now, and hopefully by late beta. So we're looking at mid to late summer to hit most of the consoles. The entire game under the hood is already set to port to most of the major consoles. We just want to make sure that we've got a lot of the core gameplay stuff worked out on PC, just because we're a bit of a smaller team. So we're kind of trying to take it step by step. So we hope you will follow along progress. If you're an Xbox player, we're definitely looking to target that. And just in case you're curious, Alex, we've already got the Xbox controller support. So just to give you a little teaser there. Okay, so for this one, putter right down the pipe with a backhand. Um, just to kind of add to what Alex was asking here, I want to kind of talk about the player stats and achievements. I know that it's not active in the game right now, and there's a reason for that. We want to make sure we work on more things like flight physics, stuff like along those lines. So we're pretty close to having that ready to release. A lot of the core gameplay, there's still some bugs that we're working out, but overall, it's already come a long way in the first couple releases. So we'll be ready to, drop that into the live build soon. To kind of segue that to what Alex was asking, we have a cross-platform stat system already in place. So if you're, kind of playing between the different ports on console, PC, or Mac, or wherever we have the game, should be able to see that between, those different platforms. Okay, a little follow-up question here from Alex. Appreciate that. Been following. What can you tell us about character gear and disc golf bags? Your character looks awesome, just not dressed for disc golf. Yeah, we definitely get that. So, uh, we've already started on a lot of different like base meshes for kind of more appropriate disc golf gear. So, we got base meshes, and then we're gonna have the actual material skins on top of that that will kind of be part of the in-game store and the achievement system. So as you play through and progress and get your level up, you'll earn kind of in-game money, and when you finish achievements, you also earn that, and then you can use that to unlock new gear, and also discs as well. So we're probably going to put out the inventory system kind of bag release first, before we start really dropping a lot of the extra outfits. Probably some discs first as well, but they are getting worked on. So hopefully, I'm thinking just kind of a ballpark on additional outfits and some that are kind of more appropriate for the sport. Probably a month, maybe month and a half, and we should be starting to drop a lot of those. Appreciate the excitement. Alex is sweet, and hopefully, they will be sweet. We definitely have a lot of cool looking ones planned. We've tested some, and we think they look good, but hopefully there'll be a good enough variety that pretty much anybody can find something that they like in there. That I sent that one way too far. Probably should have been paying more attention, but that's okay. These streams that we're doing are just as much about you, the chat, and the audience and community that we're building around the game as it is me kind of playing the game here. So uh, I'm not going to be too hard on myself. Okay, we've had this bug reported. You drop down off like a large hill or drop off, so it kind of destroys the disc, but you haven't planted your feet yet, which kind of locks you in place for your next throw. It's basically what's happening right there. So we've noted this one, and uh, pretty much have already figured out how to fix it. So for now, I hope you're all getting a little laugh out of it. Let's see if she'll throw it like this. Will you be able to straddle putt and stagger putt? Like so if you get stuck behind a tree, you need to angle out. Yeah, we're definitely working on that already. So, um, I think that's about the same time frame. I think we're maybe not this next release, but the release after that. So we're going to be adding tomahawks in the next release, and the one after that, which would be version 5 for the alpha. We're planning on adding some lean out. So essentially, we're gonna kind of do a invisible look with the game engine, and if it hits a certain type of foliage right in front of you, the plan is to kind of then ask you if you want to lean out, or have some other mechanic where you can, on the directional pad, left or right, specifically when you have like an obstruction in front of you, and that's kind of dynamically figured out by the game engine, then be able to flick it one way or the other. So it should be pretty cool when we got it set up. Done a couple little tests with the lean out animation, and that's looking good. We have to kind of start hooking in the actual, flick part of the animation. Great question, though. Appreciate that one. And that's where we get stuck. Yep. And I did have that reported that would pretty much crash the game if you land on it and get stuck like that. So we've got that one pegged as a high priority. That'll give us a chance. Let's do like a sunset round. I don't have a glow disc set up yet as far as active in this build, so or else I would make it nighttime. That would be pretty cool. But we'll go ahead and do round sunset. 6 o'clock. That should be good enough. I appreciate that comment, Alex. Like that you are working and thinking about that. Keep up the great work. So that kind of support is definitely what's keeping us going so far. Another great question. Will you have real company discs or your own made of different versions? So that's from Alex again. So I can't speak specifically on any companies. I can say that we've talked to a few, and we have a range of different discussions going on with various companies in the disc golf industry and community. So none of those are kind of finalized. Hopefully we can announce some things soon, but we're definitely working on that. Until then, we've got a great creative team, and we've got a lot of different types of designs, and there's some really cool designs out there, and while we can't necessarily on our own copy specific ones, we can go off certain trends. So you might see some that or a certain type of disc that you like that we have a certain type of design for in the game, and we want to try to accommodate that whether we have real companies involved or not. We have started to get a couple sponsors, for some different holes. So I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to Basinger's Disc Golf channel. They cover a lot of things over, kind of in the Carolinas for disc golf. So, definitely check them out. They've got a flag set up on Breezy Pines, I believe. So I appreciate their support. A little bit softer this time, hopefully. Still too hard. It's okay. I feel like we're gonna make this putt. Good feeling about it. Just to kind of So another comment from Alex here. Appreciate that. Says, that's cool. I feel you. Been craving a disc golf game for my console for a while now. We definitely agree with that sentiment. Super excited about the growth of this game. We'll spread the word, and we really appreciate that, Alex. So we appreciate anything you can do if you've got any PC gamer friends, even if you're more on console. Just spreading the word right now because we are so early. The more support we can grow within the community between disc golfing and gaming, the more likely it is we can get the consoles. So and right now that's looking good. We've had so much great support up to this point, and I would say for me personally as a developer, watching some of the streams so far from some of the players in the community and being a disc golfer myself, and having that feeling of I've had a couple aces in my day. I wouldn't say a ton, but knowing that feeling, hitting it, and that feeling of getting that close. So seeing some streamers that had that same thing happen in the game, and seeing their reaction, that was almost as if they were out there on the course, even if it was just a little bit like that, for me as a developer, was probably the coolest thing about working on this game so far. So seeing the ooh, as they got close to an ace was just kind of made my day. The couple times I saw that. So hopefully as the game grows, I'm gonna be blessed to have a lot more of those experiences. So definitely make sure to share around the Steam store link. You can search for Ultimate Disc Golf on Steam. It's already up for that, and you can add it to your wish list at the moment. Eh. Okay, let's see if we can have lightning strike twice here. Should be makeable. Will I make it though? That's the question. I know we've had a few people ask about distance to the basket. So basically, after I make that throw, what's this current distance right here? And we've already got that started, so we're going to be adding that in. I have that planned for the next release, so that would probably be about another week and a half out. The only thing I'm not sure about right now is, do we kind of add it to the UI that's in the top right, or do we kind of have something more contextual kind of showing on the center of the screen? So we're messing around with a couple of different variations, and as soon as we're happy with one, we're gonna drop that into the live build. Okay, I feel like it's gonna drop eventually. That took way too long. All right, not a bad birdie. Nice. I have to say, liking the sunset. I think it's almost a little past sunset, so we're looking at like dusk here. So. Okay, we're gonna go putter, backhand. I would really like to ace this one. Ooh, not quite. Not bad though. I will take parked. And I believe this is the hole that we had our first live streamed ace on. I think it was Drunken Gameplay. So let's see. We got a comment here from Brian Jenkins. Let's go, Jay. So that's actually my bro. That's my brother. So appreciate that, Brian. Hope you're doing well over there in Gran Canaria. Glad you could join us. Appreciate it. Okay, get down. Get down this time. That's still going to go too far. I mean, that's how it goes, right? When you need that help from the tree. It's not going to be there. Okay, let's see what we got here. Cross our fingers on this one. No. Okay. So this will get a lot easier once we have lean outs, but for me right now, it's gonna be anything but. But we'll give it our best shot here. If you're just joining us, hope everybody had a great weekend again. If you're in chat, definitely let us know how your weekend's going, what you've been up to. Anybody that's been out for a round, what course you played. We definitely don't mind hearing that kind of stuff. So I know for me, it's been pretty chilly here, so it's given me easy excuse to work on the game instead of getting out for some real rounds. But hoping to end the next week, we're looking at some pretty warm weather. So definitely looking forward to that. Okay, I'm just going to have to put this out here, I guess. Oh, man. This is going from bad to worse. So Brian says, awesome to how you guys have ramped up the game. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long road, and we did a lot of work, kind of behind the scenes for a long time, just as kind of piece by piece, building block by building block. But it feels like it's starting to come together, which is great. And seeing the community players that's kind of already sprouted up around the game and have the videos and streamed and just watching them enjoy it. It's been really fulfilling, to be honest, as a developer. So I couldn't ask for anything more. And definitely extra motivation to push it to the next level and really make this something special, kind of across a lot of different platforms, and something that's extremely immersive, still performs well. So it's a lofty goal, and we're gonna keep cranking away though, just piece by piece. Okay, that hole number 4 has not been my friend today. That's okay, we'll go ahead and restart one more time. Alright, see you later, Brian. Appreciate you joining us, brother. So it's just about 11 o'clock is what he's saying, where he's at. So hope you have a good night. Definitely appreciate you stopping by for a little bit. Okay, I'm determined to make a good throw on this one. So right in between where I threw it last time and where I threw it this time should be gold. Go full power on that putt, see what happens. There we go. Nice, nice. I will take that. Sorry if my voice sounds a little rough, chat. Like I said, it was out at a free Green Day concert last night for the NHL All-Star Game, so Definitely lots of yelling and jumping around going on, and I'm not exactly a spring chicken, so paying the price a little bit today. Might be a little hard. Stay out. All right, that's a long putt, but I think we can make that. 2 birds in a row here. That's what we're going for. Okay, I don't know why I'm leaning my head like I can see around the sleeve. So, just for anybody that's maybe unaware, so the left shoulder button on gamepads, that will switch your shoulder view. If you hold it down, you can go first person. So we don't have the foliage where it kind of disappears if you get close. We're thinking about adding that, but for right now, you can definitely kind of adjust your camera if you get some leaves like that in front of you. All right. Okay, go putter again. I think I need to get it just a little higher. Go for that ace run. Ooh. Closer every time so far today. I thought it looked good at first, to be honest. All right, 3 birds in a row. Okay, we've got another question from Alex here. Out of the 3 phases of driving, approach, and putting, would you say putting needs the most work? Yeah, and I don't know if it's necessarily the type of putt, the spin putt, but I think it's more the putter disc itself that I feel like still needs some adjustments. So right now we have every disc where it has a set of kind of variables that control all these things. So we have a development pipeline. We can easily create new discs and just make certain adjustments that will kind of affect those typical ratings for flight of a disc. No, you cannot throw 500 feet quite yet. Alex asking how far you can currently throw in the game. So what I would say right now is this character is at kind of a base level. So we're going to have levels and kind of more of the player stats where you can upgrade your throw power and some things like that. I would say max on a driver right now is probably closer to 300. So somebody maybe who's been playing for a little while, has pretty good form and a decently strong arm, solid 300-foot drive. Now, that being said, I think when we release the disc angle, when you can kind of get a little bit of ante on there and get a little more distance out of it, the base power should be able to get you a little bit more with the right disc combination and an Anheuser. So that's the cool thing about what we have. So you have the base character power right now, and we already have the throw power meter. So now what's affected is the angle of release plus the actual rating of the disc. So we have everything set like you would normally think about, approaching a throw. Definitely gonna have to keep fine tuning that. It's not perfect yet, but will you put pro characters in the game? I definitely think that's an interesting question, Alex, and one that we've thought about as we've started getting further with this game and really started taking a life of its own, and we were starting to get support, and it looked like we were going to really make a run at this. That thought started coming into my mind a little bit more. I can say we're not talking to anybody specifically at the moment, though I do think it's interesting that a lot of people have heard the news about Brodie Smith making the transition over to disc golf from Ultimate Frisbee. And, as a lot of people have discussed, there's been the question thrown around, is that good or bad for the sport? You're welcome for answering the questions, by the way, Alex. That's definitely not a problem. That's, what we're doing this for. So we're definitely more than happy to answer any questions you want to throw out there. So just back to what I was talking about, though, I thought it was an interesting conversation, that I was seeing on social media about Brodie Smith making that transition, and would that be good or bad for the sport? And I've seen phrases like the Tony Hawk effect thrown around when discussing that, and I thought that was pretty interesting. For us personally, what we're doing with this game in terms of how that relates is we would love to have pro characters, and I grew up, right around that era of the first Tony Hawk in terms of gaming. So I've been skateboarding for over 20 years and love that game. And I definitely see some, similarities to where disc golf is now and a personality like Brodie Smith. And I would love to kind of see that congruence of having, not necessarily him, but, we're getting bigger and bigger personalities in the sport with more and more, kind of household name recognition, and to have that convergence of a kind of immersive game that spans the different consoles and the different PC, Mac, and Linux and things like that with the pro characters. I see it as maybe we could put something out there that fits in that where Tony Hawk's Pro Skater did back in the day, from what I remember, from my perspective anyway. So can we get it to that? Who knows? But with your all support and keep spreading the word, I definitely think anything is possible. So we've got the right little team here, and I've not played in a lot of tournaments, but I have been around the sport casually for a long time. So we're not a big company coming in trying to make a quick dollar off of the kind of current growth of disc golf. I've been around it for years and years, and so to me it's about that community and having a game out there for them. So if we can get it to where it bridges that gap, or maybe has that crossover effect, that would be cool. Just icing on the cake at that point. Yes, you will be able to name your character, and so that's going to be part of the kind of stats and achievement system. So appreciate that question, Alex. Grab some water here real quick. And if you notice, I'm taking my time on this hole. If you've been watching most of the stream, this has been bad luck so far. So I'm happy to answer questions and not throw this one yet. So I think that's a good opportunity to just talk about the stats and kind of how the character system will work in the long run. So we've released some things for the character, like as far as being able to create it, and we wanted to have that part of it in there first and test that, and we're still going through that process. But the other side of that is having more of like a player account. So, if you think of like having a Steam integration or some type of cross-platform stat keeping, there's something that comes along with that we take very seriously here at Tree Industries. I'll get to your next question in a second, Alex. I've got just like one quick little thing on this, and then I'll be happy to answer that. So privacy is something that's really important to our company. So besides the gaming, if you kind of check out what Tree does, we do a lot of things with artificial intelligence and smart assistant technologies and things with 3D avatars. But one thing that's a pillar of what we do is open source and taking privacy seriously. So we didn't want to just throw out our alpha and have players logging in and clicking that user agreement and just them not thinking twice about that, and we start taking their data. Not that we would be a bad actor, but we take that responsibility pretty seriously here. And so we wanted to take our time with that, and we're going to be making some announcements soon about how we're going to be handling uh, player data and user data, and then what you will essentially need to be, uh, what you'll have to agree to on your end, and make sure that our player community is fully comfortable with how we're going to use their data before we actually take the stat keeping system and all those things that will require a login live. So hopefully that kind of answers that, and why we haven't, kind of rushed that out the door. But once that's out there, you will be able to name your character and some other cool things that kind of go along with like a player account. See, so his next question here was, have you ever heard of a big company interested in making a disc golf game? And do we have competition? So, um, there's definitely some good mobile disc golf games out there, and I'm not afraid to kind of talk about them. You got Disc Golf Valley, and I've seen quite a few people playing a disc golf game, and so I wouldn't call them direct competition though. The, Mainly because we're going PC, Mac, Linux, and consoles first as opposed to mobile first. I haven't heard of any big companies. I know when we've posted some of our videos and things like that on Facebook, there was some pointed comments about people not wanting certain big game development companies taking over a game like this, and kind of keeping it under our kind of indie development studio. And so I kind of resonate with that sentiment. I think some of the things I was talking about with player data and what some of the bigger companies do, I think they could do better. So I'm happy to, even if a bigger company is interested eventually to, take us on as competition or look at our game, we're definitely ready for that challenge. So, and I think if they did approach us, it would have to be a very, very specific offer, in terms of, I think we have a lot of respect for the disc golf community here, and we want to make sure that would also come through. So, let's see it. Disc Golf Valley is pretty good. Yeah, I've played that one. I haven't played Disc Golf Game, but I've messed around with Disc Golf Valley a little bit. I do know that there's another kind of indie developer that's working on a PC game. It's looking pretty good so far. It's not quite the same as ours in terms of we're kind of going for the open world, but I'm glad to see anything kind of growing in terms of disc golf, and if there's developers willing to put their time into it, I guess that kind of shows that popularity is growing. So if people are paying attention to it overall, I think that's a good thing. So let's see. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and try this one. No, we have not had any pro disc golfers reach out to us directly yet. Uh, we are developing some relationships and hopefully going to be finalizing some deals with some interesting companies related to the sport that might have those connections, and can hopefully maybe start giving us some more introductions to players that might find this type of game a cool thing to be involved with. Okay, so keep overthrowing this one. Let's go a little lower. Oh, I cannot believe I threw a forehand there. Well, we didn't go past it this time, chat. Let's try the mid-range spin putt again. A little short, maybe. Okay, so I've got another little question from Alex here. So I appreciate it. These are all awesome questions, Alex. So definitely don't be afraid if you got a couple more here in a little bit. I'd be happy to answer those too. So he is asking, will you have left-handed player options? And yeah, we're working to kind of duplicate and mirror a lot of the right-handed player animations. So I'm actually a lefty myself. I'll throw disc southpaw. So for me, it's definitely important. I guess it's kind of more right-handed players than left-handed players. So we had to kind of pick one, which we were gonna kind of go ahead and release first. But those are being worked on. And me personally, I had to make sure those got included in the game. Um, I would say probably looking at version 5 or 6 of Alpha, where I'm version 3 right now. So be a little bit, but not too long. All right, welcome back, stop 3. I'm gonna go ahead and do one of the whole previews on this one by clicking N on the keyboard. Just for any of our new members who maybe haven't played the game yet. So each hole has a whole preview, and I'd have to look and see which one it is on the controller, to be honest. But on N, it's on the keyboard, it's N to do the whole preview. Little tidbit for you, chat. So this course that I'm playing right now is actually modeled after a real disc golf course. White Birch Park outside of St. Louis is actually the oldest disc golf course in Missouri and my home course. So I've spent many days on this course and essentially modeled it from memory. And it's not perfect, but essentially each hole is set up pretty much the same. And I guess it was close to good enough because I know we had a couple like somebody pop into a video or saw a video that was local and actually picked out the course without us naming it yet. So that was pretty cool. A little skip. Nice. Yes. Hopefully that's in the circle. Just outside. Well, this round is definitely going better. Okay, while I'm on this next hole, it might present a good opportunity here. So this hole in real life is actually it's a Mando to the left. So that big tree right in front of me here, that's a dog leg to the left. And so you notice we don't have that set up currently in the game. So as we progress, hopefully in like hard mode or maybe something like that, we can have those kind of mandatory where you got to go around one way or the other around a certain obstacle or tree. Okay, so I've seen a lot of players use the forehand and dip this way down the hill. Welcome, Araz, coming to us from Twitch. Appreciate you joining us. Let's see, we're on hole 6 here of Sunny Birch Park, which is the kind of intermediate 18-hole course in Ultimate Disc Golf. So, like I was saying, a lot of players, there's a lot of turn on this forehand still, so it's hard to get it to sit. So you got to really kind of not throw it full power. on this hole. So I've seen a lot of players kind of get that power meter pretty high, and it kind of gets away from them on this one. So we're going to try maybe about 2/3. Little short, but not bad. At least I'm not like down the hill. I hope your weekend's going well. A-Roz, you happen to be a disc golfer. Um, Definitely curious to see, how many fans of the sport are kind of dropping in, and if you have a favorite course, love to hear that. Kind of anything you got going on, feel free to jump in. Appreciate it. Ooh, nice, nice. Almost thought that was going a little bit low there, Chad. A-Roz, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, says, yes, I'm a disc golfer and I played this game already. So, 2 huge thumbs up there. And if you're in Discord and you have a different name, I apologize if kind of already talked to you through Discord before. Appreciate that. Says nice putt. This round's actually not going too bad this time. Okay, so this hole can be very deceiving in real life. I typically throw a backhand with a putter just to make sure that it kind of sits. So there's a pad here, but there's a drop off right behind the basket. So it's definitely, if you get like a driver or something like that, something that's going to skip, you can go past it really quickly. Nice, nice, looking good. A-Roz says, no, I'm not on Discord. We definitely welcome you to join. That's up to you. If you're not a Discord user, no worries. But we're definitely posting our streams and videos and stuff like that on there, and definitely can get the latest info on like the change log, development log, some other stuff like that. And some of our other great community members are also posting their streams in our streams channel. That was not a spin putt. Let's see. I have a hard time dropping a link in there, but A-Roz, if you look on our itch.io page, we do have a Discord invite link right in the description for the game. And on a few of our different YouTube videos. So if you can't find the link, definitely let me know, and I can pop out of here and grab it and put it in chat. Awesome. We'll be glad to have you. No worries at all. So. Okay. This is another one where it's deceivingly short on this hole. So it looks pretty long, like it's up there a bit, but no, you're only looking at about 140 feet. So if you throw this full power, you're going to go way past it. So I'm going to go backhand. I think mid-range. We're only going to go about 2/3 again, something like that. See how that goes. Not bad. Oh, oh, nice, nice. We found a bug, chat. At least this one we can restart from. So, I'll go ahead and address that, I guess, now since it just happened. So I would say it's once in a great while right now. When we first started the game a couple years ago, we had to do a lot of work to make sure that these discs that were moving pretty quick, have good collision detection. And I'd say, 1 out of I've tested multiple versions of alpha, and I'd say 1 out of maybe 500 throws, like barely at all. But every once in a while, just it goes through. So we're looking at how we can take in the landscape collision a little bit, just to make sure that 1 out of 500 doesn't happen. Because essentially at our full version, that can't happen at all, especially if we're doing things like multiplayer. So, if you're joining us now, you're getting to see some of those still early little quirks, and as we progress the game, those get closed up. Okay, so we got one more comment from Alex here. My biggest takeaway so far is how the putting looks. But I'm in love with this game, don't get me wrong, and I know this is alpha and such. So yeah, we'd love to hear your feedback about the putting. I feel like the putt, right now the spin putt's a little stiff, and I do have another iteration that's a little more fluid. But yeah, any little things that you see, and we've got some great members of the community doing that in Discord as well. But that's exactly why we're doing these types of streams, so we can, gauge, the community and get that real-time feedback from real disc golfers, gamers, and, anybody that can give that constructive criticism. Even if it's, harsh, we're definitely open to, honest feedback, so we can, do everything we can to improve the game with that. I personally feel like the spin putt, it's the kind of the wind up to me. It's a little slow and a little stiff still. So the great thing is that we have kind of these animation montages and a pipeline for like each throw type and those types of things already. So we can easily make adjustments on these different animations that we've already created for the overall game. And we have a pipeline that uses Blender. So if you've never heard of that, it's a open source 3D modeling animation software. And as an indie studio, that's been invaluable for us to be able to create these different animations without the high-end motion capture. So eventually, maybe if we get some pros, maybe what we've kind of built as a pipeline might become obsolete, because we were doing everything motion capture at that point if the game grows enough. But we do have it to where we can easily tweak each individual animation we've created and keep adding that fluidity, things like inertia, momentum, how that looks. We're going through a lot of film right now and breaking down lots of different types of disc golf throws as we work to improve those. So yeah, hopefully if you keep following, they'll get better and better, and you'll see a video one day and you'll be like, oh yeah, they got it on this one. So that's what we're going for. Just needs a little touch on how on putts when you bring the disc down then back. Yeah, I would agree. So definitely keep tuned in. We'll keep working on that, and hopefully keep improving that and whole range of other stuff. I'm gonna have to restart this. I think that's a good point for me. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bathroom break, get a drink, and probably go ahead and try to get at least one whole round of Sunny Birch done. Um, Probably be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. So appreciate everybody that's joined us so far. If you know anybody else that's interested in disc golf or gaming, send them our way. We'll be back up in just a little bit. Thanks. All right, hey, we're back. Going to get right back to it here in a second. Playing the alpha version of Ultimate Disc Golf. Playing Sunny Birch Park. It's an 18-hole course, and had a little bit of trouble getting through all 18 holes, but we're gonna go ahead and give it another shot. Okay, again, we're testing out Xbox controller support today while we're at it. Okay, I'm determined to make a good, just park one on this. I feel like this will be pretty good. There we go. Nice, yes. Think that might be a tap-in. I think we got it this time. All right. A little short. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the performance improvements that we worked on for this release. It's definitely running a little bit smoother, and we've got some more work to do, but it's going to be a step-by-step process. So definitely much improved from last version. Well, no. I don't know what I was thinking there, Chad. I feel like we could use a little more grass back here. Do I have a line? It would be close. Guess we're just going to have to lay it up. Oh well. So we're also working on more impact effects for a couple of the next releases. Things like when the disc goes through some leaves, when it maybe hits a wooden tree. We've got a lot of different cool stuff to kind of add those little nuances of realism to the graphics planned. This looks pretty good. one other little tidbit that we're working on is if you notice her hair, the hair of my character here, it's kind of stiff. It looks pretty good. I like the overall lighting and all that, but doesn't move. So we're working on working with the engine's kind of cloth and hair physics. So pretty soon that will kind of have another added touch of realism where certain parts of the hair will kind of swoop and move around as the character moves. So it'll look a lot more realistic. That should have been a putter. For sure. So chat, my thought was I was gonna test out the game a bit and hopefully help some new players with, you know, some good lines to take and things like that. But apparently you don't want to follow my example right now. It's looking pretty good. Okay, this hole's been trouble today. Mid-range, make sure we're on backhand. Not quite full power. I like the look of this one. Sit. Stay. Ah, good disc. Okay, so if you've had trouble on this hole before, kind of take note. If you throw the backhand with a putter, it definitely is going to have less of a tendency to slide off. But if you can get that mid-range right, I feel like that's a pretty good one to throw. Backhand with mid-range. Pretty good. Okay, I just wanted to check the scoreboard for this course real quick. So we updated it to where this one has the proper 18-hole scoreboard. First couple versions, it was only showing 9-hole. But we actually, you know, saw one person who had a video up of the latest version. It didn't look like the full scoreboard was showing. So definitely hope anybody that has that issue, please definitely report it. Seems to be working right at the moment. I'm liking this one. Parked. Nice, nice. So if you couldn't tell, streaming from home office today, being Sunday. So if you hear that noise in the background, that is my beagle getting somebody's attention. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flick this forehand. I like that one. That's looking good. Touch far, but not bad. Not bad. Ooh, I hope that's not low. Oh. Ooh. Okay, backhand with the putter. There you go. That's how you do that one. Parked. So if you saw, I was a little left of those two trees. Kept it low, backhand with the putter, and you can get to glide down there and sit pretty good. Okay, this is where we got stuck last time. I'm gonna try to drop it in there a little more, and we're gonna go like half power. Try that. Oh, it might be a little hard. I do want to mention one thing that we're working on. Let's see, it was Tyler from Disc Golf Comedy. Shout out to him, by the way. Definitely check out his channel on YouTube. He's been a huge supporter of the game. Can't thank him enough. And last time he was trying out this latest release, sometimes when the disc comes in pretty hard, where I'm standing, where it's coming down an angle and then it hits a hill like this, it kind of seems to skip up rather than kind of die and get eaten up by that hill. So kind of like it did on this throw I just threw. So we are looking at a couple things to kind of detect for that kind of angle of impact and adjust accordingly. Okay, switch the shoulder. There we go. Oh. Birdie streak. Ruined, chat. Four in a row. Pretty good. Okay, this one again is can be pretty tricky. 108 feet, but there's a steep drop off right after the basket. So I typically use a putter. I don't typically use a driver on this hole in the game or in real life. A putter right down there usually settles it pretty good. Definitely not full power, like half. No, I didn't want the spin putt. That's okay. We could save this for birdie. This is why I say to myself in real life, I probably have very little chance, but we're going to say it anyway. Let's go mid-range to have a little more hook. Well, at least it's out there. Putting this one away, chat. Here we go. Save for par. Uh-huh. Relentless. Oh, so sad. It's doing so good. That's okay. First bogey. And last. Ah. Why couldn't that sit for me? So we've had this reported a few times, and we're getting pretty close now. Most of the physics, you know, and we released very specific things in the first couple versions specifically for this reason. So the high angle throws, we seem to have, you know, an issue where it doesn't quite fade out enough. The higher you throw it should kind of, especially that angle, fade once it gets to a certain point and kind of sit up on that hill. But it just kept going. So we're looking at that, and because we didn't put out too many things at once, really it's great because we have the bandwidth to kind of concentrate on just those specific things with each release. A little touchy with the analog stick still. Save the par. Okay, I like a forehand on this, but got to get it out pretty far to the left, just with the way that the discs currently turn and don't quite fade out. First good bounce of the day. Very nice, very nice. Okay, I think we're going to start teleporting. That was okay. It's going to be a tough putt, though. I feel like I could take my chances with this line right here. Just gotta make sure not to throw it too hard. Like, 20%, 30%. Not quite quite sure where that went. Here we go. Let's see. I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright, hole 13. Looking at about 272 feet, right inside of that tree line. I think we go mid-range. Down. I mean, it's in there. We'll see. We'll see. Teleport. That could have been worse. Could have been worse. Feel like we got this. Let's go. Oh. Spoke too soon, chat. Spoke too soon. Okay, as a southpaw, this hole I do not like in real life. I'm working on getting my forehand to where I can get the distance. This one's actually a little bit longer than the corresponding hole that we kind of modeled this course after. But as far as a right-hander, pretty much just a big hyzer as far as you can get it. Now, it's hard to get there all the way with the base stats, which you can upgrade your throw power a little bit. Should be a little bit easier to try to birdie this hole. Right now, it's very, very tough. Let's see. It's a long spin putt. Can we make this? There we go. Like I said, that's a tough bird. I'm happy with a par on that one for sure. Okay, let's do the preview on this one. Okay, we're going to try to sneak it right through there. I've seen some people try to get it pretty high and try to go over. Quite simply put, the current driver does not fade enough. It's going to keep, once it hits that turn, it's going to keep going. And we're working on that, but that line's going to be tougher now until we have some discs that kind of more appropriately kind of represent ones you would normally throw that kind of line with. So for this one, I'm going to kind of keep it lower, kind of try to take it down the trail with a hyzer. Full power. So we've got a question on D Live here. The Firkin one, Turkey server Y. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Sorry, but hey, welcome. Appreciate you, hopping in and checking out the game. If you were talking about the Restream server, I'm pretty sure we're set up on the Chicago one, but if it's kind of D-Live specific, the Firkin one, please let us know. Appreciate it. All right, moving on to hole 16. Go check out the flowers. And actually, we're going to have a little creek going right where this little depression is. Just go through like a little water drain right there. So we got a little bit of work to finish up on this course, but essentially how the holes are done. It's really just kind of aesthetics, stuff like that at this point. So for anyone who hasn't tried out the game yet, you can find it on itch.io. Do search for Ultimate Disc Golf. So we have the alpha up for free for anyone to try out. And for us as a small indie studio, that has been so invaluable to, be able to have a bigger range of testing devices and getting that feedback has really helped us quickly push the game, even quicker than we had hoped to be able to. So, yeah, it's download. It's a little bit of a sizable download right now. It's as far as getting it through itch. Now, once we are up on Steam, you'll be able to kind of get the full game once. So we already have streaming updates if you get it through Steam. So if you're not a fan of like downloading the full game with each one, I recommend you getting the game through Steam early access when it comes out. But even with that, we're gonna continue to go ahead and post on itch the free full release of each alpha version. Okay, definitely a forehand on this one. It's definitely birdieable. It's not the easiest shot. I kind of like to go through this little opening right here and see if it'll, turn right to the basket. Pretty much full power. I like that one. That was one of my better throws on here in a little while. This would be interesting. Nice. I really don't like those types of throws in real life, to be honest. I can make them pretty reasonably often enough, but they're just deceiving. Deceivingly difficult. If you know some of the trees kind of popping in there, kind of not as much of a view distance. I do have some of the settings turned down just to make sure the stream stays a bit smoother for you all. You could definitely up the level to where essentially, even from this kind of up on the hill view here, you can see all the trees kind of even way back there on the course. So again, this is a pretty long hole. It's going to be tough to birdie until we have the throw power increase and stats, stuff like that. We'll give it our best shot though. Definitely looking at least a par, hopefully. Backhand, and let's go with the mid-range. Oh no, this is not good. Not good. Spoke too soon. It's gonna keep rolling. Oh man, here we go. I think we can make this. We're gonna make this. Keep it positive here. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to the mouse for this shot. So it's a little easier to get the character to turn while aiming with the mouse right now compared to the game controller, but we're working on that. She doesn't want to kind of lock in the right position. Okay, here we go. That was better than the last throw, right? Double bogey. Ouch. All right, last hole here, hole 18. It's nice, easy forehand. I think we'll pretty much be wrapping up the stream after this, so hope everybody enjoyed it, and please continue to follow along with the progress of the game, spread the word. Anything you can do, we greatly appreciate it. Well, I'm finishing up here. Just one last thing, we'll be doing a big announcement about the Steam release coming up real soon, hopefully within the next few days. We're just waiting to hear back from them again. All right, 4 under. It's decent. Well, whatever you all are getting into this week, I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll definitely be doing some development streams. I believe that's the plan. I will be personally on streaming, I'd say at least a couple times over the course of this week with some actual development, and this one was kind of just playing the game and having some fun hanging out with you all, but this week we're going to actually dig into some of the updates we're doing for the next release, some bug fixes, and some of the work on the new courses. Hope you can join us. We definitely welcome you all to be part of that process while we work on each successive cycle and release. You know, we want to have the whole community have their input and feedback into it, and kind of all grow it together. So definitely, we'll be posting about those. Check them out, and we're really excited about the Steam release. I can't reiterate that enough. So be on the lookout for a post here incoming. Everybody have a good night. Thank you.